Davide. I'm with Infinity. So Infinity is a company manufacturing porcelain slab. Actually, we are, I think, the last company born in Europe making large panel porcelain. So I'm talking about 63 by 126 inches slabs that are entering the market. Despite so, we belong anyway to a big group. We belong to the Concord group. So we have 12 factories producing porcelain. So even if Infinity is a young company, belongs to a group that knows how to make porcelain. We are specifically born to create a big size slab. That is a different approach in the market, and we are trying to approach the market of any kind of application of porcelain. So working the show, you can see floor, walls, countertop, tables, cladding, you know. We are trying to approach this market, trying to be innovative. And it's not easy at all because, you know, porcelain material is in this market since maybe 50 years. So having evolutions in this market is not easy at all. And we try to be innovative in this sector in two different ways. One way is to have an innovative approach to the market and to the research. So in order to create the product has to be researched in terms of graphics and in terms of material. So first thing is, marble looking. We are strong in countertop and countertop and table application. Marble looking is a trendsetter now. You know, so how we can have the best marble porcelain, knowing the natural of the product. So we have a team dedicated, traveling the world from Argentina, where we get the Patagonia, from Carrara, where we get the best statuary and Calacata, you know, to find and search the best slab, and in order to study them. So it's not, before that there was like finding a nice picture and try to print it. It's not like that anymore. So the research of what replicate is very important. And research is not only about natural material, but is also about like fabrics, metals, any kind of material. By the way, our approach is something important because now we are delivering a huge project. We are producing every day 100,000 square feet of slab per day, and we are producing every day of the year. This means that this material, if we are talking about a natural product, is not a product that is going to be took out from the quarries. We are not touching anymore the nature. We are replicating something that looks like natural without having a hard impact on the environmental environment, you know, in the mountains where the quarries are. So, you know, this is an example of what we did. This is a Patagonia slab that we sourced in Argentina, where we replicate. And we are using both on cladding, countertops, and cabinets. The same is this pattern, you know, this is a pattern that comes from fabrics. So we are out from the world of natural material, but comes from definitely an innovative research in this product. Then there is innovation in the technology. And believe it or not, we have been able to patent two different technologies to produce porcelain. Not easy. Again, porcelain exists since 50 years. So be able to have something new, it has been a huge effort from our side. The first one that we patented, and we are very proud of it, is Natura Veintech. This is a patenting that came from 2019, and today we are still the only company producing this material. The characteristic is this: the vein through to the body. I don't know how much are you familiar with porcelain. Porcelain usually is a beautiful printing on the surface, a uniform color in the body. We have been able to have a loading of different minerals in order to have the body with the same color of the surface. Fabricators, installers can cut our porcelain anywhere they like, and they will always find consistency between the graphics in the top and what they have in the body. And exactly this color is on our booth in the next pavilion, you know, so you are more than welcome to come and check personally how it looks like. And this is another picture, you know, different color. This is a Calacata Hermitage. And even here, you have a brown minerals in the body of the material. This is giving us a huge push in the market because you can use it like a real stone, you know. So you don't have anymore to trim the edge, to cover the edge in order to make this looks like more natural. But you can just leave the edge of our porcelain exposed and use it. And this is great for actually mainly furniture application. And application. This is just to show you some more picture, you know, where you see whenever you are going to cut the slab, you have this kind of finishing. That's the range we are currently have. So 4 colors, 2 finishing, so 8 items. Natura Body Tech is something else. This is not patent, just to be very clear. I don't want to say anything that more than what it is. This is not patent, but just to say that, we put a lot of attention in all the colors and all the minerals we're using. We are using 90 different minerals to produce our porcelain in order always to have the body matching the color of the surface. So when you see this edge here, you have smaller rocks inclusion in the body in order to replicate what you see in the surface. And this gives us a huge potentials because even when we do a ventilated facade, for instance, the corner of the building, one edge is visible, the other not, looks like a real stone, looks like a full body material. It's very important for the designer, for the artist, for everybody that is very careful in the detail. Aisle. Aisle is something else that has been patented and is a numeric control process on the surface. Here we started from studying the fabrics, studying materials, carpet, textile, and we replicate this kind of pattern on the surface. So actually we are able now to create any pattern on the surface of the material. We selected 4 because we have to start from something, then every year we increase the number of material in the range. And we can play at this stage with different thicknesses, but also different patterns. And the slabs came out just worked on the surface. This is an amazing job from the designer. So we just make the slab engraved, Then the designer is making a beautiful design, playing with the thicknesses, playing with the texture, playing with the color in order to create the pictures you're gonna see. So you see different texture, different colors, and by instance, this is what we call damier. Damier, it's a pattern that we create on the slab, leaving these bricks, let's say. This is the original surface, the original texture of the slab. So you have a contrast between what it was, the original texture that is still there, and what we engraved all around. And then, of course, the different colors. So all our slabs are 1/4 of an inch thickness, 1/2 inch thickness, 3/4 of an inch thickness. Plus multiple colors, plus multiple texture is possible to create really a lot of different patterns. When we introduce these kind of things with designers, they appreciate. It's it's interesting for them having a material that they are free to design, free to change based on their idea. That's a shower wall application that is definitely out from the concept of the porcelain. I think this is something unique. You see, of course, the wall is with the aisle and can be matched in terms of color and shade with the other colors we have. Levigato pearl. Levigato pearl, again, like Body Tech, is not something that we only have, so it's not something patented, but it's something that anyway is part of our range. Consider that any kind of finishing. Levigato pearl is a finishing, is a very soft, is a leather, is a silky finished, So it's shining, but without any reflection. So you're free to walk in this show today, and you will find a lot of beautiful porcelain with a perfect mirror effect. This has the same light, the same shyness, but without a mirror effect. It looks like a owned marble. And we call it Levigato pearl because it remembers the shade of a pearl. So mainly for furniture application, it's something very, very cool. It's very nice to touch. Generally speaking, we take care about the details a lot, as much as we can. And we do it also with launching blue colors, green colors that are on our booth, by the way, where we are gonna search blue minerals. But when we have to do a blue body, it means that we are not putting ink inside the mixture, We need a blue clay, blue feldspar, blue quartz, blue pink. So everything comes from the research of the minerals we need to produce our product. This is just a quick overlook on the range, just to tell you, we have more than 50 colors, So the range is quite wide. If you mix the 50 colors with 3 thicknesses and 6 finishing on the surface. And thanks of what I told you right now, we are in front of the world of multiple application, you know. So one application is fireplaces. I mean, our partners all over the world are doing a lot of these, even because the fact that the slabs are book match makes this installation very, very cool. And there is no limits in terms of design, even because when you are working with a 1/4 of an inch slab, you can do even something very out of the common, because the material is definitely light. So easy to install, easy to handle, and easy to work. At the same time, you can do like a floor using, we did also, I talk about that later. Ventilated facade. Ventilated facade is another important application, you know, that is going to be more popular. Actually, ventilated facade is already very popular, but usually with natural stone or with aluminum cladding. Porcelain works at the same way, but is a different cladding. And the material is UV stable, does not stain, does not absorb, so it's perfect for outside the environment as well. And architects are free to design any kind of shape. It's our job to make these shapes happening and become real, you know. And flooring, and not only residential flooring, but even, I mean, we did Lexus showrooms, and cars are going in and out every single day. And we did it with a full-size panel, 63 by 126 inches size. Of course, we cooperate with the installer, we cooperate with the adhesive provider, we provide a full package. But the place is there already for since a couple of years, that they are very happy about that. At the same time, you know, this is a design made by Gensler for a very important hotel in Beverly Hills, and they decided to cut to size everything. So forget the concept about the big panels. Just work with a natural stone. You have the stone, you have the fabricators, beautiful design, and it's possible to create any kind of pattern, even reducing the size of our material. Same concept here, outdoor cladding. This is the adhesive cladding, full bed adhesive, where the slabs have been cut in order to create this pattern that remembers the ancient portal created with big stones. Commercial spaces are very common. Countertops, it's another market that is very common. 50% of what we produce is used today in countertop application. In this case, 1/2 inch thickness and 3/4 of an inch thickness are the more common. Last but not least, you know, tables. Tables is a huge market. Tables is something for us very important. And even here, playing with the different thicknesses, the tabletop can be self-standing if you want, strong enough to be used, or it's possible to support the back of the tables with glass, with honeycomb. I mean, we can provide a full package even here. Wardrobes. Thin panels means that this light can be used even to close the facing of wardrobes very easily, you know, very easily without creating any problem because of the weight. Guys, I think I've closed even with a little bit of advance. I hope it's good for you. I already told you everything I want to tell you, and any question, I see people smiling, I think because of my accent. I hope because of my accent, not because of something else. If you have any question, please, I'm here for you. Possible. We already did multiple tests. I mean, we already cooperating even with a different supplier of this technology. Here in the United States, InvisaCook is quite common. We partner with them, so all is tested. You can use all colors, all finishing in our range. And I'm happy to put you in contact even with the supplier of the technology in case you are not already in contact with them. But even on our website, there is a page dedicated to invisible cooktops. Of course, we are talking about induction cooktops in this case. And it works on 12 millimeter, so 1/2 inch thickness surface, and is working very well, even with very low energy absorption. So it's something that is, the package is ready. Thank you. Sorry?
What is stopping growth?
Growth? I mean,
People accepting large panels. What's stopping it?
oh,
Like these people are like, oh, it's stopping.
you know, it's very, I'm thinking about all the market, you know, in the United States together with my team, and fabricators, installers. I don't know how many of you are fabricator installers, so don't get me wrong, you know, but a lot of fabricators had bad experience in the past. And this is right, because in the past, porcelain slab or sintered stone or ultra compact slab was definitely a tricky material. So you're gonna make a straight cut and material cracks. You're gonna lose money fabricating this material. Now things are changed. I mean, all our factory has been designed in order to avoid tension in the material. So the cutting is very easy. But fabricators and places where we already are very active, where we train the people, where they already had good experience working with us, also the price of fabrication drops. And everything becomes a little bit more affordable, because the cost of my material is nothing compared to the cost of the installation, So this price already drops. In other area where maybe this kind of changing, this kind of new approach is not yet happened, okay, in this case, fabrication cost, installation cost is still quite high, and we are in the front line trying to cooperate with everybody involved in the process in order to create a continuous line from the manufacturer to the final job, where everybody feels safe and happy to work with our material. When we are able, in the case where we already been able to do it, everything is working well. When I'm in a city where there is no fabricators ready and happy to work with our material, of course they are the barrier. I say fabricators, but the same is tile setters, in the installers. If we talk about floor, it's the same concept. Consider, in case some of you is part of this category of professional guys, we are super happy to provide material, make trainings, play with the material. On our website, there is an online e-learning platform. Everybody can access it. 2-minute videos for every single topic. You need to know what is the right inset. 1-minute videos, there is the explanation. You need to know what is the parameters for your water jet, abrasive, pressure, speed. 2 minutes video, there is the explanation. So we really try to partner and work very close with everybody in this business to make every single step smoother, and for us, of course, to be more present and easier to access for the final user. Yes? Both. No, you can do on-site fabrication. That's for sure. I saw very multiple approach at the fabrication of the slab. If we are talking about a quarter of an inch, I recommend on-site fabrication with score and snap, because a quarter of an inch is very light. If you put in a CNC with a blade, the material is gonna vibrate. So you may have not cracks, but chipping in the edge. If you score and snap, is very precise. Opposite when you go thicker. If you're working with 12 millimeter or 3/4 of an inch, the best will be bridge saw for straight cut and water jet for all holes, sink, and something else. This is the best. Then, we are working also in like Far East or different countries where everything is fabricated with a manual grinder, just a manual grinder, and a great fabricator using it, So it's not a matter about the tool sometimes. Four of our colors are true body, and so not a complete range, and about marble looking. And we are doing it in 3/4 of an inch thickness slab. So our 1/2 inch thickness is still, let's say, a regular technology, but there is a reason. 12 millimeter thickness, 1/2 inch need a miter edge. So why use something thicker, more expensive? You have to miter it anyway. 3/4 of an inch is accepted already as exposed edge. In this case, having a beautiful edge with a vein through is important. This is why we applied this technology only in 3/4 of an inch thickness. 4 colors with 2 finishings, so 8 items. Then if you bring a black slab, of course it's a full body black, But I think your question came more thinking about the marble looking, yes. I don't know if here there is no. There is not. We are in the booth N1556, where we have these slabs with a vein through the body exposed with the tables. We have kitchen installed, floor walls. So if you have time to stop by, it's in the next pavilion, and it will be a pleasure having you over there. Relief cut. I split the answer. So the answer is yes, is always better. Then 6 millimeter, 12 millimeter is a material that is very stable, very stable. So the most, actually all our fabricators that already get the feeling with the material and with the blade and with the tools, you know, they skip this process because they can do it much faster on 12 millimeter. On 3/4 of an inch is always better to do it. I mean, as everything, you know, the minerals is the first very different between. The question is between different brands. No,
Aged porcelain versus porcelain slabs.
gauged. What you mean?
ATC gauge porcelain tile.
You know, the minerals and the way to produce. So to make porcelain slab, you have to put a lot of attention of the workability, because you know, if a small size cracks, it's not a big issue. When 56 square feet cracks, that's a big problem. Then on the big size, you always have to do shapes also, so workability. How you can make sure that the slabs is workable. Three very important point. Minerals. By the way, today the only minerals able to give flexibility to the slabs came from Ukraine. That's why all sector is a little bit shocked by the situation, you know. And this is for slab. It's not for smaller tiles. For smaller tiles, you can use clay coming from Turkey, Portugal, Brazil, whenever, you know. So minerals is very important. The way you press it. So usually regular tiles are vertical pressed. Some big slabs are vertical pressed as well, but you know, airs from the minerals from the pile has to go out. So when you are vertical pressing 56 square meter, the air in the center has a long way to go out. So we decide to press it with the same pressure, guys, but rolling the material. Rolling the material, the hairs can go out very naturally. This is the first step to avoid tension. Then is the firing process. Our slab takes till 4 hours inside the kiln, 3/4 of an inch thickness. If you needed to fire a 2 feet by 2 feet pavers for outdoor landscaping, you know, so still porcelain, but much smaller for a different purpose, 40 minutes in the kiln is the maximum you need. We are talking about 2,300 Fahrenheit, you know, but and you have to reach this temperature even with a smaller size. But if you do it with a much bigger slab, it's gonna crack in the kiln. So the time and the temperature diagrams inside the kiln is much different. All the equipment is different because our kiln is 800 feet long. A kiln to produce porcelain usually is 100, 150 feet long, you know, so big difference. I think we still have 3 minutes, so any other question for me is a pleasure. I think it's everything. Guys, thank you very much for your time, your attention, for all your questions, and I hope to see all of you on our booth. Thank you.